What if I told you that the most valuable asset in education isn't a diploma, a degree, or even an Ivy League admission? What if the real value lies in something far more transformative? In 2025, global investment in artificial intelligence reached staggering heights, with U.S. private investment alone hitting $109.1 billion, nearly 12 times China's investment and 24 times the UK's allocation. But here's the shocking part. While businesses raced to adopt AI, a quiet revolution was unfolding in classrooms worldwide that would ultimately determine the winners and losers in the global economy. The real AI transformation wasn't happening on trading floors or in corporate boardrooms. It was taking root in schools, colleges, and educational institutions that recognized AI's potential to reshape human capability itself. This isn't just about education, it's about the future of economic competitiveness, workforce productivity, and the very skills that will drive value in the 21st century.
The World Economic Forum identifies what it calls Education 4.0, a fundamental shift in how we approach learning in the age of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And at the heart of this transformation is artificial intelligence. But to understand why this matters for finance and economics, we need to look beyond the technology itself and examine the powerful economic principles at work. Let's begin with one of AI's most powerful applications in education: personalized learning. In traditional economic terms, education has always faced what we might call a mass production problem. One teacher, one classroom, and 20 or 30 students with different learning styles, different paces, and different needs. The system standardizes because customization has historically been too expensive, too resource-intensive. But AI changes this fundamental economic equation. According to research from the University of Illinois, AI can help tailor content to individual student needs and learning styles based on AI-driven analytics that give educators insight into student performance and learning trends. The result? Students become more engaged and motivated. But from an economic perspective, something far more important happens. We increase the return on investment in human capital. Think of it this way. When we customize education, we reduce what economists call skill mismatch, the gap between what people learn and what the economy needs. The Stanford AI Index reveals that AI is increasingly being embedded in everyday life, from healthcare to transportation. In this context, personalized learning isn't just an educational improvement, it's an economic necessity.
AI-powered platforms like Squirrel AI and Microsoft's Reading Coach can analyze learners' strengths, weaknesses, and preferred learning styles with unprecedented accuracy. These platforms then customize programs and tailor content to suit the individual learner's pace and style. The financial implications are profound. By ensuring no student is left behind, we reduce future economic costs of remediation, unemployment, and underemployment. But the benefits extend beyond the classroom. According to Deloitte's research on digital transformation, technologies like AI enable what they call hyper-personalization, the ability to tailor offerings to individual customers at scale. The same principle applies in education. Students who experience personalized learning develop the very skills that will drive value in the personalized economy of the future. Now, let's examine AI's impact on the operational side of education, where significant efficiency gains are being realized. Education represents a massive sector of the global economy, and like any large sector, it faces constant pressure to do more with less. Here, AI offers transformative potential. Research shows that AI can streamline administrative tasks such as grading, scheduling, communicating with parents, and managing student records. This frees educators to focus on what they do best: teach. The economic principle here is what we might call the productivity dividend, the value created when professionals spend less time on routine tasks and more time on high-value activities.
Consider the numbers. A global survey by McKinsey found that most organizations are still in the experimentation or piloting phase with AI, with nearly 2/3 of respondents saying their organizations have not yet begun scaling AI across the enterprise. This suggests that the efficiency gains we've seen so far represent just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. In practical terms, AI-powered tools like ChatGPT, Synthesia, and Learnt AI can generate high-quality educational materials, including lesson plans, multimedia resources, and interactive quizzes. For educational institutions operating with tight budgets, this represents a significant reduction in preparation time and resource development costs. But the operational benefits extend beyond time savings. The World Economic Forum notes that integrating AI into education can streamline administrative tasks, giving teachers more time for meaningful student engagement. By automating routine duties and emphasizing human-centric teaching, we can create an environment where educators can thrive, creating a richer learning experience while simultaneously controlling costs. From a financial perspective, this operational efficiency creates what we might call a double dividend. First, it reduces the cost of delivering education. Second, it improves the quality of educational outcomes. In an era of tight budgets and increasing demands, this dual benefit makes AI not just desirable, but essential for educational sustainability. Perhaps the most significant financial implications of AI in education concerns workforce preparation. We're in the early stages of what economists call a general-purpose technology diffusion. Similar to what happened with electricity or the internet, AI is transforming not just specific tasks, but entire industries, and the skills required for success are changing fundamentally. The data here is compelling. According to PwC's 2025 AI business predictions, companies are increasingly thinking about agentic workflow as a fundamental part of workforce strategy. They note that digital workers known as AI agents could easily double your knowledge workforce, transforming speed to market, customer interactions, and product design. In this context, education isn't just about personal development, it's about economic survival. Students who understand how to work with AI systems, who comprehend their capabilities and limitations, will possess a significant advantage in the job market. As PwC notes, when you have both digital and human workers on the job, you can plan for greater agility and shift resources more quickly to meet changing demands. The World Economic Forum puts it bluntly: AI presents an avenue through which students can improve digital literacy, critical thinking, problem-solving, and creativity, preparing learners for future job demands. But there's a crucial distinction to be made here. The goal isn't just to teach students how to use AI tools, it's to teach them about AI itself. This represents what economists call a positive externality, a benefit that extends beyond the immediate participants. When educational systems produce AI-literate graduates, the entire economy benefits from their increased productivity and innovation capacity. According to the OECD, rapid labor market transitions have raised questions about how to best anticipate future skill needs and diversify educational pathways to meet the rising demand for high-skilled workers and lifelong learning. The financial implications are clear. Economies with AI-educated workforces will attract investment, innovation, and high-value jobs. Those that fail to adapt will face what the OECD calls skill gaps that constrain economic growth and development. Of course, like any transformative technology, AI in education faces significant implementation challenges that we must address from a financial and operational perspective. Understanding these challenges isn't just about risk management, it's about smart resource allocation and strategic planning.
First, let's consider costs. The University of Illinois analysis notes that the cost of AI in education can vary greatly, depending on how schools want to use it. Simple generative AI systems for lesson planning might cost as little as $25 a month, but larger adaptive learning systems can run into the tens of thousands of dollars. For underserved communities already struggling with funding, this cost differential raises serious equity concerns. Second, we must address potential bias in AI algorithms. Research has shown significant bias in GPT against non-native English speakers, with one study finding that over half of non-native English writing samples were misclassified as AI-generated. From a financial perspective, such biases represent what we might call allocative inefficiency, the misdirection of resources based on flawed assessments. Third, privacy and security concerns present both ethical and financial risks. As the Illinois report notes, people are wary about what personal data is collected and how it is used and whether they have any knowledge of or control over how it is used. Data breaches not only violate trust, but create significant financial liabilities for educational institutions. Fourth, we must consider what economists call opportunity costs, the investments we forego when we allocate resources to AI implementation. As Deloitte's higher education analysis notes, institutions face skyrocketing overhead costs, including healthcare, student mental health, and insurance premiums. In this context, every dollar spent on AI represents a dollar not spent on other pressing needs. Finally, we must address workforce transition costs. As PwC notes, people will have to adapt as the way they perform workflows will greatly change. This adaptation requires what economists call investment in human capital, training, development, and support systems to help educators transition to AI-enhanced teaching models. The common thread through all these challenges? They require not just technological solutions, but financial planning, strategic resource allocation, and thoughtful governance. As the World Economic Forum notes, AI-enabled innovations in education should acknowledge the critical roles played by teachers, parents, and educational institutions in adopting this emerging technology. Looking beyond immediate implementation challenges, the long-term trends suggest that AI in education will become increasingly sophisticated, integrated, and economically significant. Understanding these trends isn't just about predicting the future, it's about positioning ourselves to benefit from the changes ahead. First, we're likely to see continued improvement in what economists call return on investment for educational AI. The Stanford AI Index reports that AI becomes more efficient, affordable, and accessible with each passing year. They note that the cost of inference for a system performing at the level of GPT 3.5 dropped over 280-fold between November 2022 and October 2024. This dramatic cost reduction makes increasingly sophisticated AI tools accessible to broader educational contexts. Second, we'll see greater integration of AI across the educational continuum. As the OECD notes, technological advancements are transforming all aspects of our lives and help imagine new approaches to global issues like climate change, food security, and public health.
In education, this means AI won't be confined to isolated applications, but will become embedded throughout the learning experience. Third, assessment and credentialing will transform. The Stanford report notes the growing importance of blockchain technology for secure credentialing, creating a safe, tamper-proof digital ledger to verify and authenticate academic records. From a financial perspective, this reduces verification costs while increasing the credibility of educational credentials. Fourth, we'll see the emergence of what we might call hybrid intelligence, the optimal combination of human and artificial intelligence. As PwC notes, game-changing value comes from a human-led, tech-powered approach. This hybrid model recognizes that while AI can enhance human capabilities, it cannot replace human judgment, creativity, and empathy. Finally, we'll see the growing importance of what economists call complementary investments, the supporting infrastructure, training, and systems that maximize AI's educational value. As the World Economic Forum notes, the realization of AI promise in education requires substantial investment not only in the products themselves, but also in supporting infrastructure, training, and data protection. As we've seen throughout this analysis, artificial intelligence is transforming education in ways that have profound financial and economic implications. From personalized learning to operational efficiency, from workforce preparation to long-term competitiveness, AI isn't just changing how we teach, it's changing how we prepare for the economy of the future. The research consistently shows that AI, when implemented thoughtfully, can enhance educational outcomes while managing costs. As the University of Illinois analysis concludes, generative AI gives teachers, students, and administrators access to powerful tools that can be put to great use in education. But they rightly note that understanding the pros and cons of artificial intelligence in education is key to utilizing these tools effectively. From a financial perspective, the case for AI in education rests on what we might call strategic necessity. In a world where, according to McKinsey, 88% report regular AI use in at least one business function, educational systems that fail to prepare students for this reality would be neglecting their fundamental responsibility. But perhaps the most important insight comes from the World Economic Forum, which reminds us that AI will never replace high-quality, human-led pedagogy. The goal isn't to replace teachers with algorithms, but to empower educators with tools that enhance their ability to develop human potential. The financial implications extend far beyond education budgets. As the OECD notes, AI is expanding the capacity of robots to work with humans in different fields, meaning that more of us will work collaboratively with intelligent machines in the years to come. In this context, education becomes the crucial bridge between technological capability and economic value. So, what's the bottom line? Investing in AI-enhanced education isn't just an educational strategy, it's an economic imperative. It represents what financial analysts would call a long-term position in human capital development, with compounding returns that benefit individuals, organizations, and societies. As we stand at this inflection point, the question isn't whether we can afford to integrate AI into education, it's whether we can afford not to. This is Jordan, thanking you for joining us on this exploration of AI in education. If you found this analysis valuable, please subscribe to Future Vision Talks and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our future content. We're committed to bringing you researched, insightful analysis of the trends shaping our collective future. We'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you see AI transforming education in your community? What opportunities and concerns do you have about these developments? Share your perspectives in the comments below. We read every single one and love continuing the conversation there. Until next time, remember,
The future isn't just something that happens to us. It's something we build through the choices we make today. Make yours count.